Good morning and welcome to my estate. We have been blessed with excellent weather for your visit, although John, my head gardener, tells me that stormy weather may be on its way today. I see no sign of it myself, but that man has an uncanny knack of correctly predicting the weather. One of his many excellent attributes. Is this not the most beautiful garden you have ever seen? It is immaculate, is it not? Although it has not always been that way. That man William Cobbett wrote about it over 50 years ago.
It was a bare heath, with here and there, in the better parts of it, some scrubby birch. It has been in part planted with fir trees, which are as ugly as the heath was, and in short, it is a most villainous tract.
What a shame that he did not live to see the triumph of my garden. It's the envy of all my London guests. They cannot wait to escape the dust and grime of the city. And sometimes, if I'm perfectly honest, they outstay their welcome. Cannot blame them. The steam trains make it so easy to travel down here. And the beauty of my gardens make it so hard to leave. No, my guests I do not object to, but sightseers are a great irritation. They flock to the Chalybeate Springs in Tunbridge Wells to take the waters, believing it will cure them of all their ills, from headaches to gout. It's utter nonsense, I say. I personally can't bear the taste. Those bicycles are a nuisance too. And when ridden by the fairer sex, I say they are undignified, unwomanly, and downright dangerous. When I purchased the land here, I wanted to escape to a world of beauty and peace. But with over 100 trains a day rattling down from London, it's a surprise any of us have retained our sanity. Mr. Stevenson and Mr. Brunel have a lot to answer for. Ah well, perhaps we can go and find John. That's my head gardener. I was telling you about him. He's really the man to talk to about the estate. Now, come along. I believe he's working close by the stream. No sign of him. That's a shame. I'll just have to fill you in as best I can. You see, when I first saw this land many years ago, I fell in love with this gill stream, gushing down this narrow valley. It's a fairy tale kingdom, is it not? Well, John knows about places like this, and he tells me that little wooded valleys like this create a warm, humid climate, like the Himalayas or other places like this. Just look at those rhododendron. Aren't they magnificent? I believe they love our acidic soil, which is why they grow so strong here. Sometimes I wonder if they grow a little too vigorously. Of course, it was quite a trial bringing these beautiful specimens over from the farthest reaches of the English Empire and beyond to my delightful garden. An odd job that, plant collecting. If I were a few years younger, I might be tempted to take a trip myself. And my word, some of them do grow. Look ahead of you now. If John were here, he would tell you their Latin names. I just know them as fir trees. They come all the way from North America. Aren't they magnificent? They must be over 100 feet tall. Although, however dramatic these trees and bushes, they cannot entirely dwarf our good old Sussex features. This sandstone outcrop. Now, that's a phenomenon people travel miles to see. Over at High Rocks, they sip their tea and they ooh and they ah at the blessed boulders and rocks. Oh, I have no doubt they're more interested in the rock cakes. No idea what they're looking at, most of them. Now, this lake is something I do know all about. When I bought this estate over 20 years ago, there was no lake. Many of my neighbours had ponds and lakes. Some of them dug out as hammer ponds years and years ago. Some of them dammed up to form mill ponds even before that. But I had nothing. So I gave the orders and the work began. It was an enormous operation. Quite exhausting, I should say. All that earth shifted by horses and carts. Weeks and weeks it took. But it was worth every cartload, don't you think? Now I've got new plans afoot. I may not be in the first flush of youth, but don't you go away thinking that I'm past it. John's been bending my ear lately. A glass house, apparently that's the thing. Like a giant greenhouse it would be. Well, it could house plants and even trees that can't survive our cold winters. Of course, I went to the Great Exhibition back in '51. Marvellous it was, simply marvellous. And that was in the Crystal Palace, the biggest glass house that was ever constructed. Full-grown trees there were inside the palace, something I've never forgotten. It all sounds very grand, but I'm not sure. I think I'd better head back to the house. Well, John is a sharp customer and sure to have cut me a good deal. I think I'll discuss my plans with him over a plate of ham. God save the Queen.